Hey folks, my name's Karl Monahan. This is a Friday takeaway. These are 15 minutes, approximately 15 minutes of snippets of knowledge from myself, from my patients, from the world of science, from the world of pain, and more specifically, from the world of male pelvic pain. In the last episode of the Friday takeaway series, I looked into dopamine. If you haven't listened or watched it, put this on pause, go and check out the previous episode because this will make much more sense. There is a flow to it. We build upon what dopamine is. And in the last episode, we did take a look at the uplifting side of dopamine, the motivation molecule, how it can make us feel good. It can reward us. It's a good transmitter. It can help us to move forwards. That was our starting block. We're now going to look at the darker side of dopamine. And I said this is part two of a two series episode. Well, hold on to your horses because there might be more. I've just triggered your dopamine system. Anticipation, expectation, excitement, the need for the next thing. All right, we're flipping the lens here because it's important to consider, and actually, this is part of a series that is looking beyond the pelvic floor. That's what all this is doing. It's asking us to inquire beyond the pelvic floor because the pelvic floor ain't where the answers is alone. When we consider there are other factors happening in male pelvic pain conditions, then we get a little bit closer to the truth. And in understanding maybe some of our behaviors, maybe some of our reactions, maybe some of our anticipations, then we get to understand ourselves a little bit more and what's going on for us. So we described in the last episode as dopamine being the engine behind drive and action, the chemical that keeps us curious and about our craving growth. It keeps us interested in the world, and that can be wonderful. Ultimately, dopamine is about anticipation. Now, you might recognize this the excitement of the event itself is actually sometimes more energizing, more anxiety provoking, more anticipatory than the event itself. And that's it. It's the readiness of leading up to the event itself as well. It's the brain signal for expectation, reward, and for craving. And so dopamine is often linked to things like our cravings, our habits, our addictions. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. It is in there. And in a balanced brain, it motivates us to act. But in a system sensitized by chronic pain, maybe fueled with anxiety, concern, doubt, worry, fear, all of the above, dopamine can push us into obsessive loops, checking, fearing, anticipating pain. For example, how many of you wake up in the morning and scan? Is it there? Is it there? Oh, I knew it was. Pain is there again. How many of you scanning in the morning time for your symptoms? Or what about if you're about to sit down, if sitting is a trigger for you, and the concern, even before being in the chair, is will this sitting trigger my pain? What about the anticipation of sexual activity? Or is this going to make my symptoms worse? Oh, I knew it was going to make it worse. It can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And all of these thoughts, all of this anticipation is charged with dopamine. And it's the urgency. It wires us to scan, react, and then catastrophize. Is that something you recognize? Something I recognize in myself when I had this. It's also just, it happens in people away from pelvic pain as well, right? It's not just exclusive to pelvic pain patients. But let's understand it. All right, so let's bring in the concept of these negative thought spirals. When we anticipate pain, the brain often makes it real. This isn't imagined. You're not making up the pain. It becomes neurobiological. It means the whole of your being, the whole of your system becomes sensitized and anticipates and therefore expects. And the more you expect a sensation, the more your brain filters your world through that particular lens. In fact, it can change our being. It can change so much of our biology to anticipate and to wind up in the anticipation of pain, tightening up in the event of, oh, we're going to have to sit for this, or, oh, this might be really unpleasant, or how's my day going to be? Oh, it's shit already. Tighten up, clench, anticipate. It's not the muscles. It's not the muscles. The muscles are part of this, but understanding what happens before your system tightens up is where we're at. So, pain neuroscience shows us that chronic pain isn't just a body problem, it's a processing problem. And dopamine fuels prediction errors, meaning there's a mismatch. If you're constantly anticipating pain, the brain over prioritizes any sensations that fit that story, particularly in your pelvis. Oh, is that something new? Can I feel a new sensation? Is it shifting? Is it moving? Fear, more focus, more panic, more anticipation. It's not just about emotions, right? It doesn't mean it's in your head. You're not making this up. And many of us, many pelvic pain patients are caught in this dopamine loop. We want relief. We crave to be over this. I just hope today is going to be the day that I wake up and there are no symptoms. We're almost anticipating it already. Oh, God, I knew they were going to be there. Let that land for a moment. All right, you're not making it up, but we can prime ourselves. So we're craving for a state, we're fearing for the worst, and then we're checking in. And this can help fuel the pain. It can add fuel to that fire. And it's very easy to end up reinforcing the thing that we fear the most, becoming actualized, and it's like your whole system has become an overactive, over energetic detective, constantly on edge, constantly seeking, constantly analyzing. Even hope can become exhausting if it's based on the outcome chasing. Oh, I just so hope I'm able to do X or Y or Z. And I hope the pain isn't there. And I hope it doesn't ruin it. We're already adding fuel to that fire. It's very difficult, right? It doesn't mean all of a sudden you just go, I won't do that anymore. It's not quite that simple. But we can start to dial it down. We can start to dial it down. So here are some practical things that you might want to consider. And often this is just sitting and just being without a goal, without an objective. All right, just being open to something. So we're going to talk about the phone a little bit, maybe in the next session. How would that be for you? Would that be exciting? I'm playing with you. Of course, I'm playing with you. But let's talk about some other practical things. Get out in nature without your phone. More on this in the next session. But get out in nature, right? Take a walk. Enjoy the experience. Try not to have a goal. I'm very, very well aware that's not always easy. I've got half an hour. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go here and here and here. But maybe try a different path. Try a different route. Try something that is fresh. Try something new. Listen to music that's just calming. Maybe you like the melody, you're not listening to the lyrics, you're not analyzing the lyrics. Let yourself enjoy food or an experience. Enjoy, it's summertime here at the moment. Enjoy the warmth of the sunshine. Enjoy the smell that is coming from the earth at the moment when it's dry or when it's showered, when there has been a shower and you can smell that earth. Even just getting out into green or blue spaces. So green spaces are forest, grasslands, woodlands. Blue spaces are rivers, lakes, seas. Wherever is near for you, being in those open environments can be wonderfully, wonderfully regenerating and rejuvenating. Recovery starts to happen when we replace fear-driven action with safety-driven curiosity. Mindfulness is key. Now, you hear me talk about mindfulness in every single session. Is that any surprise, given that it's so, so beneficial? Slow breathing, rhythmic breathing, grounding yourself. And these can help to reduce the dopamine spikes linked with urgency. I have a thought, I need to respond to that thought. When we sit mindfully and follow our breath, the thoughts come, but we're not responding to them. How many times do you have a moment to yourself where you're not doing anything and your natural reaction is to take a look on your phone, maybe even on social media. So this is where we might lean into some dopamine fasting. Reduce stimulus. So that is any screen, including things like the news, where they change the narrative ever so slightly, or going onto your forums, your Reddits, etc. Try giving yourself a break for a short period of time. For the next half an hour, I'm not going to pick up my phone. After 9:30, I'm not going to look at my phone. I'm going to give myself a day away from my phone. All right? How does that feel? Let your nervous system breathe. Let it settle. Let it relax. Check this out. If I were to post this podcast up online and then feverishly check in every half an hour, every day, for comments, for likes, that's me hitting my dopamine system. That's me winding up my dopamine system. All right, it's very easy to do, isn't it? When we're chasing something, but actually it's the anticipation of the thing, that like, that comment. It's the anticipation that we're looking for more. That's the dopamine. Dopamine isn't evil, but in pelvic pain, it's about finding balance. Learn to harness your dopamine, use it to good for good reasons, not to obey it. All right. There's the thought, I need to react to it. There's the fear, I'm going to respond to it. I'm going to dive into catastrophization. Go back, listen to all the other episodes on the Friday takeaway. It will massively help in terms of understanding how we've gotten to this place. Oh, and we're back with another episode, a third episode. I promised you two, but you're going to get three. Tune into the next episode on dopamine, understand it a little bit more. We'll include some more practical things for you to do. We'll dive a little bit deeper again. My name's Karl Monahan. This has been a Friday Takeaway. This is the darker side of dopamine. All of our contact details can be found below. We'd love to know your thoughts. Do you recognize these patterns? Do you recognize these behaviors? What are you currently doing? Are you unable to do anything at the moment? Are you not able to change that cycle? That's also fine. Recognizing it is absolutely key. What we do next is how to start to change that as well. All right. Hope you've enjoyed this. Catch you in the next one. Quickly, before you go, I want to tell you about an exciting new project by Pelvic Pain Matters. We've created an online community away from social media. This is completely private. So you will need to register to get access. There's a small fee, but once you join, you will get and every single month we're going to drop new content. So success stories, movement videos, breathwork videos, and understanding pain. So this is another offering from Pelvic Pain Matters to help you support and navigate your journey through pelvic pain more successfully. This is the introduction to our online circle community. I've added all of the links, all of the necessary links down there in the bio. I can't wait to see you in there to help and support you further with your recovery.